Okay, hello, my new learner drivers or drifters to be for today's session. Today we're talking. I'm going to be teaching you about how to drift. Drifting 101. Okay. My name is Winston. I will be your instructor for the day. Now that you know me, I don't know you though. Okay, so can I have you all introduce yourself and tell me a bit about why you want to learn drifting, what got you interested in drifting? Can we start with you?
I'm a Lulu from China, so I love Zhou Jielun, so I want to learn the drifting like him.
Okay. Just a quick note, okay, I understand you're from China. My Mandarin is not very good, okay. I will try to speak as slowly as possible, but if you don't understand anything, okay, we can have a separate session after the class, and I can take the time to explain to you. All right? Okay, thank you.
Okay, my name is Chong Ming. The reason why I got interested in drifting is because after watching Fast and Furious, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome, yeah, that's quite a common response I get all the time. Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is David. Before I get to introduce myself, I think I need to know you better. I have a similar shirt like you, but all these logos are all crossed out. So I'm here to learn more about you as a trainer and how you deliver. Because I believe probably we are in the same industry, so I need to get to know you better. See how you conduct the course.
Okay, thanks David for that question.
Yes.
I have a profile on the webpage that introduces me and a bit about my background.
Okay, sure.
Okay, you can refer to that, and if you have any other questions related to any of these logos and all that kind of stuff, we can also have a separate discussion. Okay, thank you. And you up?
I'm Joanna. So the reason why I'm here is because you know Han from Tokyo Drift. The way when he donut, and then the girl was standing in the middle.
Very cool.
So I was expecting Eddie Peng to be standing in the middle. I was just donut here.
Yeah, it's very cool. I also get a lot of that response. You know, the movie industry has done a lot to promote the art of drifting. Yeah. Okay, and I will also talk a bit about more about the history and the origins about drifting, but that's for later on. Okay. Now, some very quick housekeeping. This course is actually intended for one English-speaking participants, but again, not to worry, Lulu. We've talked about this. All right. Secondly, it assumes that you have a driver's license or the ability to operate a manual car. Can I see by show of hands that you all know how to operate a manual car? Yeah? Okay? Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, some safety rules. Okay, first off, just to put you at ease, although drifting looks very, and it is somewhat fast and furious, this is a beginner course. So we will not be doing 180-kilometer drifts going into a corner, that sort of thing, right? So we're going at a relatively slow pace. So as long as we have this open space with no objects that might cause safety issues, we are fine, all right? Some of the things we need to take note of is we need to make sure that we are shaded when we're not actually in the car. All right, we're thankful that we have this canopy over here that keeps us shaded from the elements.
Sorry, may I know what's the percentage of the tint, the shading of the window? May I know what's the percentage?
Oh, okay. That's actually not relevant at all. Yeah, thanks. Make certain that you are also hydrated. It's a very hot day. All right, you don't want to get heat stroke and stuff like that. All right. If you do get into any problems though, we have first aid kits available, all right, and we have staff standing by to be able to administer emergency first aid. Okay. We also have on hand extinguishers in case anything happens to the car. All right, we have actually, or at least I know that we have we have a full participation list of 4 drivers for this lesson, but I will also be passing around attendance sheets while conducting the course, and I'd like you all to at least fill it up, sign next to your name. Okay? In the meantime, also, if you have any telephones and all that, can I have you put it to silent mode? Chances are you won't be able to hear it going off even if you get a call, because the car is very noisy in an outdoor environment. Any other questions before I move on? Are we all good? Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, today's topic obviously is about learning how to drift. But we will first start you off by learning how to drift donuts. Why do we call it a donut? Because it's basically a circle. We learn how to drift a circle. All right. I will be teaching it to you in 4 steps, and by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to describe the 4 steps necessary to initiating and maintaining a drift donut. Okay. Secondly, I will be teaching you techniques to be able to maintain that drift, so that you can actually drift on continuously until your tires explode or you run out of fuel. All right? Any other questions? Yeah? Okay, good. So now I will show you an introductory video on the origins of drifting and where it has evolved to today. Okay, I won't show you the whole video, just so you get an idea of what it is. All right?
What is drifting? Drifting is the art of making a car go sideways. Born on the winding mountain roads of Japan in the 1970s, enthusiasts would compete in illegal time trials called toge. The drivers became known as the Zoku and were soon renowned for their daring maneuvers as they danced cars down the public roads in an effort to score the best time. Over 40 years, the discipline has evolved from a time trial to a precision driving display. It is now hugely popular, and the events are no longer run outside of the law. Having become a national sport in Japan, drifting is now crossing borders and winning millions of fans around the world. The most famous of the Zoku is Kishi Tsuchiya.
Okay, I will stop over here.
In his youth, he looked up to the great Buddha.
So as you can see, it's, you will agree, right? It's a pretty exciting spectator sport. Yeah, a lot of smoke, a lot of speed, yeah, a lot of danger, right? Okay, so next I will play a video that I created for myself to teach you the 4 different steps on how to do a drift. Okay, I'll have you watch the video in its entirety. This video is about 6 minutes long. Okay, pay attention to the steps. Okay.
And welcome to the first installment of Learning How to Drift. In this session, I'm going to teach you simple steps to drift. So we're not going to do like 100 with fast and furious smoke all around. right slot. Now we want to get to a point where the front tire stops. When it does, come on down. Then go forward and get back on. Let go of steering. And then find throttle. And with the steering and the throttle, right? The car going in circle. Right now. Not balance the car now. Or down and hold. Yeah. Okay. That's all we're going to do. What we do is in a very controlled fashion. And you can see from the tire marks on the ground, right? We're making circles rather than going around the hole. Okay? Stop. And then also up that again. So we'll come from full stop. The code that's to my right. Engage first gear. That's the steering wheel, about 45 degrees. Just start driving around in the circle. Stop taking less speed. And as I pick up enough speed, about 30 kilometers an hour, I will let off the throttle suddenly, and that will push the car forward and lighten up the wheel. That's the backward throttle rate. It's that moment, it's the head moment that is all important. Okay, and now, let go of the steering wheel, catch it back in, throttle on. Okay, adjusting the clutch. Going round the circle. Like so. Okay, there we go. And I'll come to the top. Okay, so that's how we're going. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so this next part here, because we've been looking at this from inside the car. So I'll show you what it looked like from outside. So as you can see, just driving around circles, slowly accelerating, and then stop at the accelerator. And now I'm going around at an angle, and I'm still driving. Okay? Looks simple enough, right? I'm sure you all can do this right now, right? You'll just go in the car and just drift it. Yeah, of course, it's not that easy, but these are the steps that will make it easier. Okay, I guarantee. Okay, so let me very quickly recap again the 4 different steps. Huh? You all heard me break it down in the video. So step 1, all right. I'll do a bit of a demo as well. Okay. So step 1, what we do is, can you all see? Yeah. Can you view? So step 1, obviously, I say we engage the first gear. So you all know how to drive a manual car, right? To engage first gear, clutch in, go into first gear, all right? And then what do we do next? We turn the steering wheel about 45 degrees to 90 degrees, and then we slowly let it out and we accelerate, okay? So step 2, we continue to accelerate, picking up a bit of speed until the front tires start to slip a bit, all right? And then what we do is we let off the throttle suddenly. When we do that, you will find that the weight transfers from the back to the front. And what that will do is they will lighten up the back, and your rear tires will start to lose traction. Okay? When that happens, we very quickly let go of the steering wheel. All right? We stop on the throttle, let go of the steering wheel because it will want to go back center and go into the opposite lock. Right? And when it does that, when it reaches opposite lock, we catch the steering wheel back again, and we get back on the accelerator so that the tires continue to spin. Okay, so we're at step 3. Let go of the steering wheel, let it rotate opposite direction, catch it back, step back on the accelerator. Okay, and then we need to make little adjustments to steering and throttle, right, to keep it going sideways. All right. Clear? Okay. Obviously, this needs a lot of practice in a real car, for you to try it out as well. So, why do we have this lesson? Okay. Previously, when we learned drifting, we didn't have a step-by-step guide teaching us exactly what to do. Step 1 is this, step 2, step 3. All we did was, okay, we looked and see how people do it. We try to guess how they do it. If we're just so lucky enough to have close friends who are drifters, right? We sit in their car and we look and watch to see what they do, right? So we now have this video to make it easier for you with a method, a structured method. We break it down so that it's no longer a black art. Okay. So right now, now that I've shown you the videos and the steps and all that, what I'd like you to do is discuss among yourselves. Okay, I'll break you into the 2 groups. Right now, it looks like you all are in natural 2 groups, right? In pairs, discuss among yourselves for 5 minutes. What are some of the challenges you might face as a driver in executing the 4 steps as shown? All right, why don't we start now? Yeah, I didn't mention this, but you can write it down on the whiteboard here. Okay. And after 5 minutes is up, I will have your groups present one at a time. What's your group doing? Okay, well, yeah. Give me your ideas very quickly. That's very good.
You're trying?
Okay, try. Yeah, it's good. Good. Yeah, that's the key thing. Just to try. Let me know if there's any other questions. You all done? Okay, just take a seat first while we wait for the other group to finish up. You all need more time? Are you good? Okay, great. Okay, have a seat. Okay, so both groups, you all have, I went around as you all were writing on the board. You all seem to have come up with some very good sort of inputs. Can I have this group, David and Joanna's group, come up here and sort of share with us some of the challenges?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the challenges faced by a driver will be firstly the difficulty in coordination. Over here, the hand-eye synchronization is very important, very crucial.
Yes.
So the next one will be to having difficulty in memorizing the steps, all the 4 steps involved. Then the last one for myself will be knowing the right timing to each step, because the timing is very crucial, how we actually plant it in the step. The last one?
Last one is motion sickness, because just now, actually when I was watching the video, I really feel like throwing up. So I don't know if I will get this during the real practical, so.
Thank you, thank you. I can understand that those are very real concerns, especially for motion sickness. Motion sickness partly is also the fault of the monitor that we have, because there's a lot of stuttering and all that kind of stuff. By right, if we had better equipment, you won't see that stuttering, and that stuttering actually makes you motion sick. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Take a seat. Okay. This group, you ready? You can present your findings.
Okay, so for us, I think the challenges are basically the first point we are having the same challenges, meaning to the hands and leg coordination, which can be quite confusing at times, because you cannot feel how the car is at which angle when you're executing those steps. Okay, and then the second point is fear of losing control, because sometimes you need to let go of the steering. Okay, so that's when I think the fear comes in, whether what will happen when you don't know how the car will react to when we actually let go of the steering. Okay, and then the third one is the fear of damaging the vehicle, because it is not cheap, and if the car flips and all that, so this is the challenges that we face.
Okay, thank you again. Those are very, very real input, and some of the challenges are quite common. Okay, a big round for everybody. So yeah, this thing about difficulty with coordination, hand and leg coordination, and all that, very common issues. Okay, so I say common so as to put you all at ease in your learning journey, because this is something almost everybody goes through. This whole lesson right now is very theoretical when we're actually dealing with motor skills, right? When you get into the actual car itself, and over time as you practice, things will start to click. So I just want to put you at ease for now. Okay, I spoke about the motion sickness. Yeah, fear of losing control. Again, a very genuine fear. Because it's counterintuitive to want to let go of control of a vehicle that can cause injury and harm, not just to people but also to the environment and yourself. All right. But again, we address all of those concerns by limiting the speed of the vehicle, making certain we are in an open space to do this safely. Okay? So, any other questions before I move on?
Yeah, I actually have one question. It says when it reaches the opposite lock, because
Yes.
you see when we make a turn,
Yes.
right, and then once we release the steering wheel, right,
Yes.
it will just go straight because we are still going forward. So
Correct.
likely it will not go to the opposite direction.
Oh, actually, when you step on the steering wheel, right, when you make a turn, you step on the steering wheel, and when it loses control,
When we let go.
when you let go, you will find that because of the throttle action, your steering wheel will want to naturally, what we call self-steer, and go to center,
Yes.
and go beyond. It will go beyond. Now, I know it's very hard to understand that mentally right now, or when you're in a car, when that actually happens, you will see that to be true. And thank you for your question. Very good. Anything else? If not, let me move on. Okay. So, quick test for understanding. All right. For the first question, I will have each of you all answer one of the 4 steps. Okay. In sequence. Okay. So, who will want to volunteer? Okay.
So first gear would be turn the steering wheel to 45 to 90 degrees angle. Then start driving in circles.
Okay. Engage into the first gear.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
engage to the first gear.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, at this point in time, step 2 will be to accelerate till the front tire start to slip. We have to get the feel, probably close our eyes also if we're experts. Yeah, that's what I do usually.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So the next one will be probably the car will pitch forward.
Yes.
And we have to maintain the 2 adjustments, the steering and the throttle.
Right.
And close your eyes again to feel it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Next.
Okay, for step 3, letting go of the steering wheel,
Right.
and then it will self-center because the throttle is still on.
Yes.
Okay, so and then it will actually also rotate into the opposite direction.
Yes. That's right.
Okay, so after that we reduce the acceleration. Okay,
Yeah.
we grab hold.
That's right.
Okay, and we reduce the acceleration, and then once we grab hold of the steering wheel again, then we
Very
apply
quickly.
throttle.
Yes.
Yes, and adjust and make minor adjustments to maintain the drift.
Fantastic. Now all this is happening in a split second. I know you said a lot of steps, but it's all happening in a split second. Don't worry. As you practice and practice and practice, not just like riding a bicycle or driving a car, learning to drive a car the first time. It will all come more naturally. Yeah.
Make 2 adjustments.
Okay.
One, steering wheel, need
Yes.
to adjust.
Yes. Very good.
2 is the yeoman, need to brake the.
Yes.
that.
油门
Yes.
throttle or gas pedal. Very good. improving my Chinese. Okay, thank you. Okay, very good. Okay, next question over here. What are the 2 common ways to maintain a drift? Hint, hints. It was just answered not long ago. Anyone? How about you?
Definitely not me. Let them answer.
Okay, when you feel comfortable later, you can answer,
Sure.
right? Okay. How about you?
Steering in, or the 2 ways to
Yeah, the 2 ways.
steering and throttle.
Very good, thank you very much. The next question, are you comfortable to take the next
Definitely,
question up?
because
Okay,
I think I'm past their level, so probably steer out,
okay,
then steer in to that angle.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, very good. And the last question over here?
Steer into at angle.
Very good. You're all can be advanced drifters soon, huh? Okay, so another 2 more questions before we move on. The steering wheel will rotate in the which direction when rear traction is broken? How about you?
Opposite.
Opposite. Very good. Very good. 很好，好棒. Okay. And last question over here. Once the steering wheel reaches what? Lock.
Apply.
What reaches what lock?
Once the steering wheel reaches full wheel lock, full lock.
Full and opposite lock.
Opposite
Okay, very good. Grab the steering wheel again and apply the,
Throttle.
yes, very good. And what are the 2 you answered earlier?
Steering.
Very good. Okay. So once the steering wheel reaches opposite lock, grab the steering wheel and apply the steering and throttle inputs. Okay. Okay. So again, I've summarized it into this little formula. The 4S, which are the 4 steps, right? And the 2 adjustments. All right. Very good. So debrief. What are some of your thoughts regarding today's training? Anyone can help to volunteer their thoughts.
Maybe I can
Yes.
share my thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel that it's difficult to visualize every action, what is happening to the car.
Absolutely.
So that if I can feel what the car is happening, then I can relate better and know what the steps does to the car.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Absolutely. Any other thoughts?
Just more worried about my motion sickness.
Motion sickness.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't realize that it was so serious.
Okay.
When I saw the video. Yeah.
Okay. I think when we actually get into the car and all that, we'll see if you still continue to experience motion sickness, or maybe miraculously you find that hey, this is nothing very natural. Okay. Okay. Very good. Thanks for those. So just some other thoughts that I'd like to share with you. Okay. This is just one of the ways to initiate, or what we call start or initiate a drift. There are other methods to doing it, but those are actually there are far more steps and a bit more complex, okay? Like revving up to 3,000, 4,000 RPM, dumping the clutch and all that kind of stuff. And it's also quite harmful to the car when you're learning, all right? So what I've shown you today is actually probably the simplest way to learning how to drift, even though you might think it's quite complex, all right? Okay, moving on. Okay, move on, all right? So, how might some of these skills apply in your daily driving? I know this is a bit of a stretch because this is, stuff that is quite illegal to do on the road. But, when do you think this might come in handy?
I do not know if I am correct. Maybe if my car gets into an accident or during a rainy, wet condition, the car might skid a little, so it's kind of like a drifting. Then maybe, hopefully, I can use these skills to actually get control of my car back.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anyone else might share the same thought? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I actually have friends who learned how to drift, and after that, one of them faced a similar situation. And what happened was that they, on reflection, they said they were calm because they know how it felt to sort of lose control, and they didn't panic. They knew what to do to sort of regain control or not do anything that might make the accident worse. All right. So yes, drifting may seem like a very hooligan type of activity, but it does help you react in emergency situations. Yeah. Okay. Very good. this lesson is the basic foundation for drifting. Beyond this, there's a whole lot more. We have all kinds of different drifts. We have handbrake drifts, we have what we call momentum drifts, etc. But again, this is just the basic foundation. So again, just to recap some of the learning outcomes that I shared with you earlier when we started this lesson today. The first one is to be able to describe the 4 steps, which we now can, to initiate a drift in a manual car. And the second is to be able to explain the 2 common adjustments needed to maintaining a drift donut. Okay? Thank you for participating in today's theory section. We will then move on to the practical. Thanks.